What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including WWE in trouble and a meeting has been called to fix it. WWE has zero plans for this champion. Is Logan Paul versus Bad Bunny happening? AEW kicks out a fan. WWE won MJF. Did WWE cancel a major return? WWE scrap a feud, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Now let's see the intro and get straight into our first story. Now our first story looks at WWE in trouble as a meeting has been called to fix it. Now our top story today looks at worrying times for WWE as the low ticket sales for WrestleMania have left the company scrambling. According to Fightful Select, WWE held a company-wide meeting on February 11th, and the nature of the meeting was how to address these low ticket sales. WWE is thinking about how to move tickets. WrestleVotes Radio on Fightful Select reported that WWE held a multi-department company meeting on February 11th to address the lower-than-expected ticket sales for WrestleMania. All departments have been tasked with promotions and strategies to boost ticket sales and momentum heading into the event. In an insane twist, it's been revealed that WWE plans on keeping ticket prices at the same exact level. WrestleVotes also heard that WWE plans to keep ticket pricing as for the time being. As of this past week, WrestleTix had each night in the neighborhood of 36,000 tickets distributed thus far. Last year, WrestleMania ended up between 56,000 to 60,000 distributed each night. As of this point last year, they'd moved about 10,000 tickets per night more. Fans are quite rightly calling out WWE for this on social media today, as the obvious fix is to just lower the ticket prices. Additionally, WWE are charging the exact same price for a product that isn't that hot right now, and it's hardly surprising that they haven't been keen to use their WWE is on fire right now catchphrase in a number of months. WWE can't afford to be greedy here, and evidently, running the same exact city 2 years in a row for the biggest show of the year has massively backfired. It's also worth noting that while CM Punk vs Roman Reigns for the world title is evidently a huge draw for WrestleMania, Night 1 matches are still up in the air. We still have no idea who WWE Champion Drew McIntyre is facing. The idea of WWE running back McIntyre versus Cody Rhodes for the 100th time isn't going to influence a positive upswing of tickets. Now, it's also been reported by the Wrestling Observer newsletter that this has led to frustration backstage. It mentioned the decline in ticket sales was said to be the reason the entire card is being evaluated, combined with many in creative having different opinions on direction. There was frustration because they had a game plan in place, and then it was changed to a new game plan, and now we could and likely will have other changes. One person involved noted that at this point they should really be sticking to the plans because the plans are good. The reality is that the ratings declines are largely based on the loss of cable homes and changes in the Nielsen and live attendance. While not sold out every week, it's still on the high side based on history and the ticket prices are significantly up. There's also the real problem here, the cost of visiting Vegas. The Vegas economy isn't exactly booming right now, and that's because they're gouging people who ever visit the city. General prices around the strip pretty much double of what they are. Right now, tickets are still at an insane price. Just attending the event itself and sitting in probably row 5 will cost you about $11,000 right now. In fact, it gets even more insane when you see that the entrance aisle tickets are about $21,000. Who the hell, apart from Green Shirt Guy, is paying $21,000 for a single seat for a single night at an event? Obviously, we're not even including hotel prices here, which are obviously going to skyrocket because of the event itself. WWE was an absolute fool not to just hold the event where it was supposed to be, which was New Orleans. What do you guys think? Is the only option for WWE to lower ticket prices to fix this problem? Next up, WWE has no plan for this champion. Speaking of WrestleMania, it's now surfaced that WWE currently doesn't know who Jade Cargill is going to defend the women's world title against at WrestleMania. WrestleVotes via Fightful Select is reporting that they are torn between Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton. WrestleMania plans are still being solidified. WrestleVotes Radio is reporting that WWE is yet to determine the direction of the WrestleMania SmackDown Women's title match. Many possibilities have been discussed, with Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton among some of the more pitched options to face Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill is set to defend her title for the first time since winning it against Jordynne Grace. The fact that WWE doesn't know what matches are taking place on their biggest show of the year is a major concern. When it comes to the idea of Cargill versus Stratton, this is a match that has taken place about 300 times just last year. And this isn't remotely big enough for a world title match at WrestleMania. This type of booking shows how weak and lazily booked the SmackDown Women's division has been, and WWE only has themselves to blame. It's rumored that WWE were heavily relying on Bianca Belair returning in time for the show, so they could run Bianca vs Cargill for the WWE Women's title. However, it doesn't look like Belair will be medically cleared in time, so they've been forced to pivot. But even with that pivot, it sounds so uninspiring. Next up, an epic dream match incoming. Now let's move on to some more maybe positive news for WrestleMania 42, as WWE could be in the process of delivering an epic matchup. Bodyslam Plus 5 Patreon are officially reporting that Obafemi vs Brock Lesnar is being considered for Mania, but they note that this currently isn't locked in or confirmed in any capacity. This will be a huge match to book, and it does make sense seeing as Lesnar is set to return on the Raw before the Chamber. It's also worth noting that in the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer is reporting that Lesnar vs LA Knight was planned as of January. This hasn't been remotely teased on television and seems kind of random at this stage. This does raise questions in terms of what WWE has planned for Gunther, as Gunther vs Lesnar looked to be the original plan for WrestleMania 42. But with that being said, based on TV, Gunther vs Rey Mysterio looks to be the plan, but it's unknown if this is going to be a retirement match, as Mysterio reportedly has years left on his WWE deal. It doesn't appear to have any plans to retire at this time. There were also rumors that Gunther vs Chris Jericho could be on the card, yet rumors of Jericho returning to WWE have now slowed down significantly since the Royal Rumble. Next up, Logan Paul vs Bad Bunny planned. Now, there are substantial rumors that Logan Paul vs Bad Bunny could take place at WrestleMania 42. Logan has actively teased the match for a number of months, and now during an interview with SI's The Takedown, the former WWE US Champion labeled a potential match as the biggest wrestling match of all time. I'm not setting the table, I don't know. Look, the thing about him, he's a busy guy. He's a very busy guy. I don't know what is on his agenda. I would like to make it happen. If Bad Bunny vs Logan Paul happened, I have no doubt it would be the biggest wrestling match of all time. Like hands down, without question, that match extends so far beyond the WWE universe. It breaks all barriers of what people think wrestling is. You have the opportunity to capture a global audience in one match. Whilst labeling the match as the biggest match of all time may be a stretch, the match will in fact capture a global audience, so it'd be understandable why WWE would want to book this match. There is concern from fans that Logan may be too inexperienced to carry a match with Bunny, so it's possible that they will turn this into a tag match, but that hasn't been confirmed at this stage. Next up, AEW kicks out a fan. It's been a problematic week for AEW, and it's only getting worse. A fan is taken to X to reveal that he was kicked out of the arena for wearing an anti-ice t-shirt. Today I was supposed to go to AEW Dynamite, which is taking place right behind me today at the Toyota Arena here in Ontario, California. However, the security guards here at that building denied me entry, pretty much behind me, for the day because of my t-shirt. The Brody King Abolish Ice t-shirt that I'm wearing. The ones that Brody King has been slaying, with the proceeds going to people that have been affected by ICE harassing around the country. Yeah, that one. Unfortunately, this is an issue that goes well beyond AEW, as it's likely another call from the network or the arena themselves. AEW, specifically Tony Khan, has come under fire for not standing their ground when it comes to the anti-ice chants, as well as the rumored removal of Brody King. But it's possible that AEW and Khan are negotiating with the network behind the scenes. However, it is believed that the report of WBD pulling him from the show was false, as Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful looked into the situation and reached out to a WBD spokesperson regarding the matter. Warner Bros. Discovery did not have any involvement in Brody King's upcoming AEW schedule. Any speculation to the contrary is categorically false. Brody is scheduled to appear during the next AEW event, which will air this Saturday on TNT and HBO Max. So what really happened to Brody King? Well, PW Insider has confirmed with multiple sources that Brody King was never scheduled for last night's AEW Dynamite taping. King and others flew out of LAX last night to Australia, requiring them to miss Dynamite due to travel schedule. Whilst this clears up the Brody King situation, it still doesn't clear up why the fan was denied entry for wearing the t-shirt. Next up, WWE want MJF. MJF at one time was rumored to be signing with WWE, but he opted to re-sign with AEW. And now the former AEW World Champion has confirmed during an interview with Chris Van Fleet that WWE is still interested in him and they still want to bring him into the company. There was a lot. I had some nice calls with some people who are high up on the chain. They were interested in me and they're still very much interested in me, and I understand why. MJF would add that he knows that the run would have been a major success if he'd signed with the company. Whilst he's firmly locked in an AEW contract as of now, who knows what the wrestling landscape will look like when MJF eventually becomes a free agent again. MJF is widely regarded as the greatest wrestler to never wrestle for WWE in the modern era. It wouldn't come as a shock if he never wrestled for the promotion at all. Next up, a legend becomes a new WWE PC coach. It seems that former WWE Women's Champion Jazz has officially returned to WWE, but not as an active wrestler, but a behind-the-scenes role as a coach at the WWE Performance Center. Jazz announced the news herself, explaining that after 3 decades in professional wrestling, she's now focused on helping develop the next generation of talent. Giving God all the glory, I can officially say as of 2026, I'm now part of the coaching staff at WWE NXT Performance Center. Professional wrestling has been my life for 30 years. Now I get to work with the next generation of superstars. I'm a true testament of never giving up, no matter how long the process may seem. We're wishing Jazz all the best in her new role. Next up, did WWE cancel a major return? One of the names heavily rumored for the Royal Rumble this year was the Hardy Boys. Due to Matt and Jeff appearing on NXT television, as well as the duo being on good terms with the company, it really made sense to have one or both of the celebrated tag team appear in the men's match. But Matt Hardy has since addressed if there were any plans for the Hardy Boys to enter the match, and during the interview with One Wrestling, Matt had a rather interesting response. I feel like if it wasn't in Saudi, the conversation would have been a lot stronger. And does this imply that the Hardy Boys didn't want to work in Saudi Arabia? Kinda seems that way. Next up, Triple H gets defended. And during that interview with One Wrestling, Matt Hardy also took the time to defend Triple H. According to Matt, whilst people have been critical of the game, he's still ultimately bringing people into the building. You have to look at how successful WWE's been. TKO, some people have been critical about how they made ticket prices much higher than they should be, and whatever else, but he's still bringing people into the building. And Matt would add that the game is constantly creating compelling characters and stories. He's constantly creating compelling characters, compelling stories, and compelling moments. Some people say, oh, he just does it for the pop. But that's what pro wrestling is. I think Paul Levesque has done an excellent job, and it's nice to have someone a little younger. He's an old school guy, but he's pretty much on the pulse of modern day pop culture than Vince was. That's rare for anyone to be defending Triple H in 2026, so this is definitely going to be a trending topic on social media. And finally, WWE scrap a feud. Our final story looks at last week's SmackDown, as it's been reported that a major segment was scrapped from the show. According to Fightful Select, on the initial script for the show, The Miz was supposed to attack Ilya Dragunov backstage, but this was written out of the show at the last moment. A late change was made to the February 6th SmackDown. This past week, Fightful had the SmackDown plans up ahead of the Friday show. One segment that was supposed to happen didn't end up taking place. WrestleVotes Radio reports that a planned angle where The Miz would attack Ilya Dragunov was removed from SmackDown. The angle made it into some very late drafts of the show, but it didn't end up happening. This would have eventually led to a match between the two down the line. The report adds that it's unclear if the segment and feud has been scrapped altogether or just maybe delayed for the time being, as you never know when WWE could revisit this again. Then again, after these WrestleMania plans being changed all the time, who knows? But there you have it folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.